Have you ever felt the icy grip of fear when you were utterly alone, yet something unseen was watching your every move? Imagine standing in a place where laughter once echoed, now swallowed by darkness and silence. Today, I'm about to share a chilling true story that will send shivers down your spine and make you question the very fabric of reality. Welcome to Sinister Stories, where we delve into the darkest corners of human experience and the supernatural. This is a first-hand account of a terrifying afternoon at school, a story of friendship, mystery, and the unknown that still haunts me to this day. Picture this. It was just another day preparing for our school play, but what started as an ordinary rehearsal quickly spiraled into a nightmare. Two of my closest friends vanished without a trace, leaving me alone in the shadows of an abandoned attic. The unanswered questions and lingering fears still linger in my mind, reminding me that some places hold secrets best left undiscovered. If you're a fan of real-life horror and supernatural tales that make your heart race and your skin crawl, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Sinister Stories, and share it with your friends who dare to explore the unknown with us. Our story unfolds within the aged walls of Lincoln High School's theater, a place once vibrant with the laughter and creativity of students, now standing as a silent witness to countless forgotten performances. The theater's facade, marked by peeling paint and boarded-up windows, hints at years of neglect and hidden secrets. Inside, the atmosphere is thick with an unsettling stillness. The narrow attic room, the focal point of our tale, is tucked away above the main stage. Accessible only by a steep, iron staircase that groans underfoot, the attic is cramped and suffocating. A grand piano sits in one corner, its once polished surface now dulled by time and neglect. The confined space, combined with the oppressive darkness, creates an environment ripe for unexplained phenomena. It was in this very space that an ordinary afternoon took a sinister turn. The walls of the attic seemed to close in, amplifying every sound and shadow. The iron staircase, cold and unwelcoming, became the gateway to an experience that would forever change my perception of reality. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the theater into twilight, the stage was set for an encounter that would blur the lines between the natural and the supernatural. Little did I know, the very place meant to showcase our talents would become the backdrop for a nightmare I still can't escape. As the afternoon sun began to wane, casting long, eerie shadows across the theater floor, subtle changes started to unfold. At first, it was just a whisper, a faint, almost imperceptible murmur that seemed to dance on the edges of our conversations. I was chatting with Sarah and Lily, our voices echoing softly in the vast, empty space. They mentioned wanting to check out the attic, a place we rarely visited, with its cramped quarters and the old grand piano that stood like a silent sentinel. Sarah laughed nervously as she said, "Let's go up there and see if we can find any old props." Lily nodded in agreement, though a flicker of hesitation crossed her face. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, an unspoken tension hanging in the air like a thick fog. The stairs felt colder with each step, the metal railing icy against my skin. As we climbed, the temperature seemed to drop dramatically, my breath visible in the frigid air. The faint sound of our footsteps echoed unnaturally, as if the theater itself was alive and reacting to our presence. Once inside, the attic was shrouded in darkness, the only light coming from the faint glow of the setting sun filtering through a small, grimy window. The grand piano loomed in the corner, its keys yellowed and worn, untouched by time, but seemingly waiting for something, or someone. It was then that I began to hear it, a soft, melancholic tune playing from the grand piano, though none of us had brought any instruments. The sound was haunting, each note lingering in the heavy air, sending shivers down my spine. I glanced around, trying to locate the source of the music, but the room remained still except for the eerie melody. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a shadow dart across the room, too quick to be anything human. My heart pounded in my chest as an overwhelming sense of dread settled over me. Sarah and Lily tried to laugh it off, but their voices trembled with uncertainty. "Maybe it's just the wind," Sarah suggested, though her eyes betrayed her fear. Lily nodded silently, her hands shaking as she reached out to touch the dusty piano keys. Just as suddenly as it began, the music ceased, leaving us in an unnerving silence. The air felt thick, almost suffocating, and the shadows seemed to press in closer, as if the room itself was closing around us. I couldn't ignore the growing sense that we were no longer alone, that something unseen was watching our every move. It was clear that whatever was happening in that attic was beyond our understanding. The line between reality and the supernatural had blurred, and a chilling mystery had enveloped us, setting the stage for the terrifying events that were yet to unfold. As the eerie silence enveloped us, a battle raged within me. On one hand, the rational part of my mind screamed to flee, to escape the suffocating darkness and the unsettling presence that seemed to lurk in every shadow. On the other, an insatiable curiosity gnawed at me, compelling me to uncover the truth behind the inexplicable events unfolding around us. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat echoing the fear that threatened to paralyze me. Sarah and Lily exchanged worried glances, their earlier bravado now replaced with palpable anxiety. "Maybe we should just go back downstairs," Lily whispered, her voice barely audible over the oppressive silence. But something deep inside me resisted. What if fleeing meant never understanding what was happening? What if the answers we sought were locked away in that very attic, waiting to be discovered? I could feel the weight of their fear pressing down on me, their trust in my decision becoming a silent plea for leadership. The voices that had beckoned me upstairs lingered in my mind, a haunting invitation that I couldn't ignore. Summoning every ounce of courage, I made my choice. I turned to Sarah and Lily, my voice trembling but resolute. "I need to find out what's going on. We can't just leave it like this." Their hesitation mirrored my own doubts, but the determination in my heart outweighed the paralyzing fear. With a deep breath, I stepped closer to the grand piano, the air around me growing colder with each movement. As I reached out to touch the dusty keys, a surge of adrenaline coursed through me. This was the moment of truth, the point of no return. Would I uncover the mystery behind the disappearing friends, or would this decision lead us deeper into the abyss of the unknown? The internal conflict was at its peak, a relentless tug-of-war between the instinct to protect myself and the burning desire to uncover the secrets that the attic held. In that split second, I chose to embrace the fear, allowing it to fuel my determination rather than consume me. With that single decision, the path was set. The shadows seemed to react, growing darker and more oppressive, as if acknowledging my choice to face the unknown. The true test of courage was about to begin, and there was no turning back. With my heart racing and every instinct screaming to turn back, I took a deep breath and pressed a single key on the piano. The note echoed through the cramped attic, reverberating off the walls like a haunting whisper. It was a deliberate act of defiance against the growing dread that threatened to engulf me. As Ethan presses the key, the piano suddenly springs to life. The keys move of their own accord, producing a melancholic melody that fills the room. The sound is both beautiful and eerie, sending shivers down Ethan's spine. At first, the melody seemed innocent enough, a ghostly reminder of past performances long forgotten. But as the notes continued, a sense of malevolence began to seep into the music, twisting the harmonious tune into something dark and sinister. I couldn't tear my eyes away from the piano, mesmerized by the spectral performance. But then, the atmosphere shifted. The shadows seemed to grow thicker, more oppressive, as if the very darkness was alive and watching me. Suddenly, the grand piano emits a loud, discordant chord, and the room is plunged into near-complete darkness, save for a faint, flickering light emanating from the corner of the attic. Ethan's pulse quickens as he senses a presence behind him. I turned slowly, my mind racing to comprehend what I was seeing. There, emerging from the darkness, was a figure cloaked in shadows. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, piercing through the gloom with an intensity that paralyzed me with fear. The figure steps forward, its movements fluid and unnatural, as if it were made of smoke and shadows. The air grows colder, and Ethan feels an invisible force pressing against him, making it difficult to breathe. The apparition extended a hand towards me, its fingers elongated and claw-like. A low, guttural whisper filled the room, a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Why do you disturb our rest?" intoned, the words sending chills down my spine. Ethan's friends, Sarah and Lily, step back, their faces pale with terror. The tension between them is palpable, the fear almost tangible as they watch the supernatural entity approach. Frozen in place, I struggled to find my voice. We didn't mean any harm," I stammered, my throat dry and my heart pounding in my ears. "We just wanted to understand what's happening here." The figure looms closer, its presence overwhelming. The room seems to constrict around Ethan, the walls closing in as the supernatural force intensifies. As the entity reached out, the attic seemed to come alive with malevolent energy. Objects began to move on their own, papers fluttering, the piano keys playing frantically, and the shadows swirling in a chaotic dance of darkness. Ethan feels a surge of adrenaline, a desperate need to protect himself and his friends. Summoning every ounce of courage, he takes a step forward, meeting the apparition's gaze. In that moment, a fierce determination took hold of me. I couldn't let fear paralyze me any longer. I had to confront this darkness head-on, not just for myself, but for Sarah and Lily as well. With a resolute voice, Ethan declares, "We mean no harm. Let us help you find peace." The apparition hesitates, the glow in its eyes flickering as if contemplating his plea. The air crackled with energy as the entity seemed to waver, the oppressive weight lifting ever so slightly. For a brief moment, there was silence, a fragile pause in the storm of supernatural chaos. Then, without warning, the figure dissipates into a cloud of shadows, the eerie melody from the piano fading into silence. The temperature begins to rise, and the oppressive darkness recedes, leaving the attic calm once more. As quickly as it had appeared, the presence was gone, leaving behind an unsettling stillness. I looked to my friends, their expressions mirroring my own disbelief and lingering fear. We had faced the unknown together, but the experience left us with more questions than answers. Little did we know, this confrontation was only the beginning of a series of events that would forever change our lives and the very fabric of our reality. Just when we thought the nightmare was over, the attic began to reveal its darkest secrets. The brief moment of calm was deceptive, masking the true horror that was about to unfold. As the entity dissipated, the air grew thick with an unsettling stillness. But that silence was shattered by a chilling revelation that none of us could have anticipated. Ethan notices something strange about the grand piano. The keys, previously still, start to move on their own, playing a dissonant, haunting melody that fills the room with an eerie resonance. The piano, once silent, began to play again, its melody twisted and foreboding. Each note seemed to echo our deepest fears, resonating through the very walls of the attic. Sarah steps closer to the piano, her eyes wide with terror as she watches the keys dance without a human touch. We thought the presence had left us, but the piano's sinister symphony told a different story. It was as if the very soul of the attic was awakening, revealing the dark history that lay hidden within these walls. As the melody played on, images began to materialize on the walls, ghostly apparitions of former students and actors who had mysteriously vanished over the years. Their hollow eyes and twisted expressions seemed to plead for release, their presence a testament to the attic's cursed legacy. Ethan's eyes dart around the room, landing on an old diary lying on a dusty shelf. He reaches out hesitantly, his fingers trembling as he opens it, revealing yellowed pages filled with frantic handwriting and cryptic symbols. In the midst of the chaos, my gaze fell upon an old diary, its pages filled with desperate entries and cryptic symbols. As I read the fragmented words, the horrifying truth began to unravel. The diary reveals that decades ago, a series of mysterious disappearances occurred within the school, all connected to the theater and its attic. The entries speak of dark rituals, restless spirits, and an unending cycle of terror that traps souls within the confines of the building. The diary chronicled a dark chapter of our school's history, tales of vanished students, unexplained phenomena, and dark rituals performed in the attic. It became clear that the attic was a nexus of malevolent energy, forever binding the spirits of the lost to this forsaken place. As Ethan reads aloud, the atmosphere grows more oppressive. The shadows on the walls begin to converge towards him, their movements synchronized with the rising tension of the revelation. With each word I read, the attic seemed to grow darker, the shadows converging around me as if the very spirits we had encountered were eager to share their torment. The revelation hit me hard. We were not just dealing with random hauntings, but a deliberate, malevolent force intent on perpetuating its cycle of fear and despair. The grand piano's melody reaches a fever pitch, the notes clashing violently as if reflecting the chaos within Ethan's mind. Suddenly, the room is plunged into darkness once more, the only light coming from the flickering glow of the diary. In that moment of realization, the true horror of our situation became undeniable. We were trapped in a web of supernatural deceit, where the line between the living and the dead had been irreversibly blurred. The attic was more than just a haunted space. It was a prison for restless souls, and we were now part of its eternal nightmare. Ethan closes the diary with a resolute expression, determination replacing his fear as he understands the gravity of their predicament. With the truth laid bare, I knew there was no turning back. We had to find a way to break the cycle, to free ourselves and the trapped spirits from this relentless torment. But as we stood there, the attic seemed to respond to our resolve, setting the stage for an even more harrowing battle against the darkness that sought to consume us. With the horrifying truth unveiled, the weight of our predicament pressed heavily upon us. The attic, once a place of creativity and laughter, had transformed into a chamber of unending terror and despair. We knew that our journey was far from over, and the path to salvation was fraught with unimaginable challenges. Determined to break the cycle of torment that had ensnared the attic, we knew we had to act swiftly. The diary had provided us with fragmented clues, but the key to freeing the trapped souls and ourselves remained elusive. We delved deeper into the diary's cryptic entries, piecing together the fragments of a dark ritual that had bound the spirits to this forsaken place. Each word we deciphered only heightened the sense of urgency, knowing that time was running out. Our first step was to confront the source of the malevolent energy, the grand piano. Legend spoke of a final ritual that could sever the ties between the living and the dead, but the exact steps were shrouded in mystery. As we approached the piano, the atmosphere grew colder, the shadows lengthening as if trying to ward us off. Every step felt like a descent deeper into the abyss, our fears magnified by the oppressive darkness that surrounded us. Ethan takes a deep breath, his hand reaching out to touch the piano keys once more. The moment his fingers make contact, the room seems to hold its breath, the air thick with anticipation. With trembling hands, I began to play the melody outlined in the diary, a sequence of notes that resonated with both sorrow and hope. The piano responded, each key pressing down on its own, guiding us through the ritual. As Ethan plays, ethereal lights begin to swirl around the attic, illuminating faded photographs and remnants of past performances. The spirits of the lost students and actors emerge, their forms flickering like candle flames in a draught. The spirits surrounded us, their hollow eyes reflecting a longing for peace. It was a moment of profound connection, bridging the gap between our world and theirs. We could feel their pain, their desperation to be free from the shackles of this cursed place. Suddenly, the room trembles, the shadows recoiling as the ritual gains momentum. The camera captures the intensity of the moment, the interplay of light and darkness, symbolizing the struggle between life and death. As the final notes echoed through the attic, a surge of energy enveloped us. The air crackled with power, the boundary between our reality and the supernatural realm dissolving. The spirits began to ascend, their forms becoming more translucent as they moved towards the light. In that fleeting moment, the attic was filled with a sense of release and closure. The oppressive darkness lifted, replaced by a gentle warmth that signaled the end of our ordeal. We had done it. The cycle of fear and despair was broken, and the spirits were finally free. But the experience had left an indelible mark on us, a reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown. Slow, haunting music plays as the trio begins to descend the iron staircase, their steps heavy with the weight of their ordeal. As we made our way back to the main theater, the memories of that afternoon lingered like shadows in our minds. The attic had changed us, leaving us with scars that would never fully heal. Yet, there was a sense of triumph in knowing that we had faced our deepest fears and emerged stronger, forever bound by the shared experience of confronting the supernatural. But even as we returned to our everyday lives, the echoes of that day haunted us. The attic's secrets remained etched in our souls, a constant reminder that some mysteries are never truly forgotten. And sometimes, the darkness we face leaves a lingering presence, a testament to the shadows that dwell within and around us. The aftermath of that harrowing afternoon at Lincoln High's theater left an indelible mark on my soul. The echoes of the attic's dark history reverberated through my every waking moment, blurring the lines between reality and the supernatural. Returning to normal life was never an option. The memories haunted me, each night filled with vivid nightmares where the shadows of the attic reached out to claim me once more. The diary became my obsession, a key to understanding the forces that had bound us to that cursed place. I couldn't shake the feeling that our actions had only scratched the surface of the attic's mysteries. There were whispers in the dead of night, glimpses of shadowy figures at the edge of my vision, and an ever-present sense of being watched. It was as if the spirits we freed had left a fragment of their torment within me, a constant reminder that some horrors never truly fade. Ethan enters the attic once more, flashlight in hand, the beam cutting through the darkness. The grand piano stands silent, but an eerie stillness fills the room. Determined to find closure, I return to the attic, hoping to uncover any remaining secrets that could finally put the restless spirits to peace. But the more I delved into the theater's past, the deeper the mystery became, intertwining my fate with the shadows that dwelled within. Every discovery led to more questions. Who was the original orchestrator of the dark rituals? Were there others like us, unaware of the attic's true nature? And most hauntingly, was our escape from the attic's grip permanent, or merely a temporary reprieve from an eternal nightmare? Ethan's reflection is interrupted by a sudden cold breeze that extinguishes the flashlight, plunging him into darkness. The sound of distant piano notes begins to play, slow and mournful, echoing the melody from that fateful day. No matter how hard I tried to move forward, the past clung to me like a shadow, reminding me that some places hold secrets too dark to ever truly escape. The theater, with its silent whispers and lingering spirits, remained a part of me, a testament to the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown. In the end, the attic didn't just change my perception of reality, it shattered it. And as long as I live, the shadows of Lincoln High's theater will be a part of my story, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are never meant to be uncovered, and some fears never meant to be faced alone. Thank you for joining me on this terrifying journey through Lincoln High's haunted theater. If this story sent chills down your spine, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Sinister Stories, and share it with your friends who dare to explore the unknown. Have you ever experienced something unexplainable? Share your stories in the comments below, and let's uncover the mysteries together. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a spine-tingling tale from the darkest corners of fear and the supernatural.